let's go.
Here we go.
And there's a nice little backhand flick there from Tyson, or from Dekel Bar, and Tyson giving him a nice pat.
Yeah, that's the danger there. It's just Bar is so long, and he's aggressive. Important to also note here, Johnny, a new paddle for Tyson. Team Yola.
Well, Dekel Bar as well. Both of them now newly signed Yola players. And Dekel Bar not really expecting Craig Johnson's ball to be probably that high.
That juicy.
Can't believe he would do that to me. Almost disrespectful.
Yep.
And Dekel Bar making a pay right down the middle, threading the needle.
So far, everybody abiding by the new serve rule. Looking good out here.
That's right, new serve rule. Has to be below the hip, so you have to drop that ball. You cannot impart any spin on that ball. It must be below the hip when you drop
down.
it.
Yep, palm facing down.
And it was going to be very interesting to see what Tyson McGuffin serve even looked like. We know how he likes his big wind up, and kind of looks very compact now.
Much
very
more
modified.
simple. Yeah, much simpler. Good ball there by Guy, getting that ball down to the feet. Great job there. Two of the bigger servers, like you mentioned, Johnny, on the same team here.
It might have been the two that caused the rule change. We don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Could be.
But remember, the rule for the serve is just a beta test for this tournament. We don't know if it will continue.
It's up to the council.
And that ball going to sail a little bit on us. We have the new Vulcan ball as well, for those that haven't heard about pickleball for a while. That is the new Vulcan pickleball, the new ball of the tour. So that's debuting at this tournament as well.
It's funny, Johnny, it may not be as, people are saying it's not quite as powerful as the Dura, a lot more spin. But it does sail if you don't spin it, which is interesting.
And you got to wonder how much time has Tyson McGuffin had with this paddle to really groove in and get used to it. Maybe a couple more unforced errors than what we're used to seeing from him. But, you know, it takes a little time.
About a month seems like to get used to a new paddle. Maybe a little more. Interesting seeing them kind of playing more Dekel here, but doing a good job, Guy and Johnson, at getting to the kitchen. Just have to figure something out when they're up there.
Yeah, it definitely look like they're isolating Dekel Bar backhand when we get to the dinks, if we can get there. Not a bad play. And a little bit aggressive there from Dekel Bar, going for the line. Inside out forehand flick. Unable to make it, so Craig Johnson to serve. That's a great flick from Dekel Bar from his backhand, well below the net, really catching Augustus Guy off guard. And the side out, not before they get a point off of Dekel Bar and Tyson McGuffin. Tyson to serve.
As expected, Johnny, the Phoenix seemed very fundamentally sound.
And nice 1-2 combo, Dekel Bar, Tyson McGuffin finishing up. And I'm sure we're going to see more stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a Ferrari forehand right on cue. Don't see Dekel miss any of those. Another juicy one in the middle.
But I think Dekel's starting to figure out that he can do that for the next ball.
Yes.
going to be.
Nice flick there from Guy up the line at Dekel. It's beautiful. Right to the right hip.
Touching the net on that a little bit, so always going to get a good little roll when you hit the net. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes not, but that one working out for Augustus Guy. And all tied here early, 1-1-1, and a little feeling out process too. What can I do, what can't I do, as these teams haven't faced off before.
Right. Freebie there for Team Guy Johnson. Dekel decision return.
And as you're watching this and tuning in here at Grandstand, you may wonder why everyone is dressed in the same color. And so there is a dress code, obviously all whites. Some of us having some off whites, but we all try our best.
Tough time of year, Johnny, to find whites. I had to go shopping for this tournament, and let me tell you, it's not a popular color this time of year. But it does look really good. Good lead there.
Dekel Bar trying to flick that ball through Guy, and he successfully does, but it goes long.
Again, there are not a lot of spin, ball sails. Saw it there. Yeah.
And they got away with that one. Dekel Bar, Tyson McGuffin knowing it as they collide in the middle.
They get their dance routine down a little bit better there. Nice setup there by Guy.
Craig Johnson finishing that one up. And so second serve, Tyson McGuffin, 1-4. He's going to do his modified serve here.
Still looks pretty big. Both of them, Dekel and Tyson, found a way to use the new rule change and not let it slow down their serves too much. They both look good.
And Tyson McGuffin, one quick step over the kitchen line, big time forehand, cleaning it up.
I like the lefty-righty combo, Johnny, because it gives you a chance to kind of play aggressive from both sides instead of your traditional two righties. It's working well for Guy and Johnson right now.
Great defense, great pickups and digs from Augustus Guy and Craig Johnson, able to finish off that point. And Tyson McGuffin just laying down the new Yola paddle nicely. And Dekel Bar just taking his to the bench, as they will be taking a timeout. Dekel Bar can make some adjustments.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, one of the fastest things to ever close is a lefty forehand right in the middle. And Augustus Guy accomplishing that, no problem, as they add another. Craig Johnson to serve here now, up 6-1 here in the opening game. Yeah! 1-2 combo, Craig Johnson, shake and bake. Augustus Guy flying in.
Guy out of nowhere. One step covers the whole court.
And there's a switch, as we saw. Dekel Bar taking it off the head. They apologized, of course, but you noticed something different there. Tyson went to the left. Yep. They've already made an adjustment, a quick one at that, as they find themselves in a hole here. 8-1 in opening game one.
And no diminishing of pressure from Guy and Johnson. They are keeping it on.
there it is again. Tyson running around trying to get that forehand going. Craig Johnson staying patient, closing on the middle. And looking very confident right now.
9-1. Net cord there, but a good poke by Dekel.
And a much needed side out for Dekel Bar and Tyson McGuffin.
The key here too, Johnny, is not to feel like you got to press, just kind of win a couple at a time here. Use that big serve, there's a freebie, it's huge.
And that ball is sailing deep just slightly. Very close. Just off the top of the net. We're going to have 292.
Not keeping official count, but Guy and Johnson definitely the benefactors of the net so far.
That ball is going to be put away from Dekel Bar. One thing you have to note with these two, Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar, big-time veterans of the game.
Yep.
And
they're going to make
adjustments, and they're not going to get rattled. Especially even being down big. They know this is a best 2 out of 3 match anyway.
They've been here before. What you're seeing too, Johnny, is the team striking first is having the most success. So either time a team scores, it's usually by them striking first.
Absolutely. The sun is down, the air gets colder,
yep.
The ball gets harder.
Yep. It's time to hit the ball. He is him right now. He is on fire.
Watching on our replay here, just jamming Tyson up, and the paddles get laid down once again after Augustus Guy and Craig Johnson are able to defend and then finish. So Tyson McGuffin, Dekel Bar in a hole, that's for sure. Augustus Guy and Craig Johnson coming out on fire, playing great defense and capitalizing on their opportunities. Game point.
Here we go. Still really good though.
Great defense.
Yep.
Once again, able to defend off balls and then forcing Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar to just hit another one and another one.
Nothing easy. I was literally about to say nothing easy out here.
Another opportunity.
Yep.
Game point. Augustus Guy just going for it. He set it up for himself to get the 1-2 combo. And again, getting a side out is Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar.
They gotta be careful here. Make sure they keep holding. Can't let them go on a run. Some hands there by Craig. Good ball.
And that ball, unfortunately for Tyson McGuffin, going to sail long.
First service error by anybody on the court so far.
And that ball, great spot by Dekel Bar, finding Augustus Guy right on that little chicken wing in there, right? Or alligator arm that he gave him.
Important too, because he's been taking the middle, so he's going to have to go back there. That's the pattern that's been working, Johnny. Going cross court to Johnson's game, look for the floater, and Dekel pokes it with that insane reach. Good play there.
And hanging in there for game one is Dekel Bar and Tyson McGuffin. Another side out, another opportunity.
3-10 still. One thing here too, Johnny, Steph kind of heats up. I'd like to see Johnson poke one down the line and try to switch that pattern and make McGuffin go across with Guy. Just something to look for here.
definitely foresee Craig Johnson letting that one go. Now they're at 5. I would imagine a timeout.
There it is. Perfect call, Johnny. You are a future fortune teller.
That's right.
Timeout.
Timeout coming from Craig Johnson.
See if you can get one more here.
As soon as you think you got him, you don't. Check it out on replay. Dekel Bar trying to flick that middle. Craig Johnson shutting the door real quick.
And much better job by Johnson there, Johnny, keeping the dinks a little shorter, right? He knew that one was going to have to come up, and he sat on it. Great job. Wow, that's great hands.
Dekel Bar with the close, kind of really leaning his body into that.
Love the poke by Augie there, but great hands for that.
All of a sudden, 3 turning into 6.
Gotta stop the lead.
And there's another one. Tyson McGuffin setting it up. Little mild bark there. As soon as he gets going with that.
Got some energy, got some life here.
And another one, 8. Dekel Bar sitting on it down the line. And there goes the paddle. Augustus, Craig Johnson calling their second timeout pretty quickly. And just like that. All right, welcome back. The referee's a little excited. The players are excited. Getting going early here. And there's the stop they needed.
Got 2 more chances here, Johnny. Gotta capitalize.
Multiple opportunities here for Guh and Johnson to finish this game. We'll see if they can do it now. Ice in the veins. Dekel Bar going for the speed up below the net.
Gotta switch that pattern. Dekel's feeding. Gotta switch that pattern if you're Johnson and Guh. Here we go, one more shot.
Got it. And there it is. Augustus with a fist pump. Craig Johnson with a oh my goodness, thank goodness. And game 1 going to Guh and Johnson.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Yeah, don't hit me, I'ma fall like face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like face it. Shut it down, you know I'm the one doing face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it.
Johnson, Guh getting in position. McGuffin and Dekel Bar. Game 2. Here we go.
Great spot. Guh there. Again, finding the feet so good there. Quick side out.
And I don't know the earning count from Dekel Bar yet, but we haven't seen him able to do it too often yet, but there's a good one from him right there.
Both teams utilizing the drive on the third. Not a lot of drops right off the third.
There he is again, Augustus closing that middle quick.
He has been the most dynamic player so far, so he can keep it up.
And Craig Johnson out-dinking Dekel Bar in that backhand battle.
Yep.
Not a bad pattern.
Just can't float it. We saw what happens when you float it in the first game. So great job by CJ there. Johnny to get back in this one. They need to strike first, and they need to strike to a good spot. Great job by Dekel Bar there.
That's right. Remember, I think it was Augustus and Craig Johnson who took down Jay DeVilliers and Colin Dawson in Las Vegas, the last PPA in Vegas. So
They definitely shown that they will win a big match like this.
that's right, but also a big exchange there. A little momentum as Dekel Bar wins that one, and you get them pumped up, starting to show a little emotion. And that one coming up short as then Augustus and Craig Johnson now winning that one.
Tyson, if you're Tyson, you got to go back down the line there instead of speeding up cross.
And that one's gonna sail. So Craig Johnson and Augustus coming out swinging again here in game 2. And Tyson and Dekel taking them serious at this point. Yeah, overhead's gonna be very tough to handle from Dekel Bar.
You lobbed the wrong guy there, Augie. You gotta go the other way.
He got real big.
You lobbed the wrong guy.
We all make choices.
Good try, though. Good try. It's worth noting, and it's really worth highlighting how good of hands defensively Guh and Johnson are showing right now. They are getting attacked, and they are perfect resets most of the time. Kudos.
There it is, a come on from Craig Johnson, letting Augustus know that ball was coming, and there he is with a forehand in the middle once again.
This is a great duel between Guh and Dekel, and Tyson and Craig play more supportive role. They're doing a great job, both too. Smart play.
And that ball just barely gonna go out. And another great battle there up at the kitchen line. And I'll tell you what though, Tyson and Dekel, at this point in game 2, they are going to make Johnson and Guh earn it.
Yep. And the pattern hasn't changed, but they're just executing better on this side now.
There it is, the lefty forehand, finding the middle once again. As Dekel Bar just not getting his combinations down.
And we saw, are they gonna unwind this set? Here we go. They're gonna have to unwind here. They don't. There you go, Johnny. So here we go, another change of sides maybe. Tyson switching over to the left.
Trying to figure out where they need to be in this new partnership, Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar.
I like it.
And you can see the experience of the partnership of Guh and Johnson coming through.
Yep.
Now Tyson jumping over in front of Dekel, maybe trying to do a little too much.
Maybe a force there. Craig Johnson to serve, and I just found out, Johnny, he has a tanning bed company.
Sounds right. And Tyson McGuffin going to come out on top through that exchange, but a little damage done there. Still early here in game 2,
Can't ask for a better start.
The intensity has risen. The sense of urgency from Bar and McGuffin has been raised as well.
Big point there for them, making their comeback here. Big point.
And that one just tagging the left hip of Craig Johnson. Dekel Bar getting fired up after that, trying to get his team going.
Another big serve too, Johnny set up that point. See if they don't start to go for a little bit more on the serve to get a free point or two.
That one just sailing long.
That's as close as it gets.
Barely. You're going to look at it on replay here.
As close as it gets, Johnny. And it was out. A little more spin, that thing drops.
Dekel Bar getting the roll down at the feet of Augustus. I think he's been trying to do that a few times. It's just been sitting up ever so slightly, and Augustus was able to close with a forehand, but not that time.
Nope.
As that one goes in the net, quick center court. Big up at the front. And Tyson coming in methodically behind him. Tyson, McGuffin, and Dekel Bar looking to do some damage here in game 2. Already up 6-4, trying to force that game 3. Here we go. And there's the finish. Dekel Bar, great combination between all 4 players, staying big time. And here we go.
Much better patience from the Dekel and Tyson there as they finally find a way to put one past him. Good hold there by Augie. Great hold.
Tyson just going for it there with the forehand. Augustus, his backhand counter being extremely effective here in this match.
For sure.
Dekel going for a lob drive combo, but great volleys once again from Augustus Guh. That ball sails long.
Sneaky little vertical there from Guh getting off the ground, chasing that overhead.
And you can see the confidence in Guh and Johnson still just rising. Sometimes when you play a team that is supposed to do well and you're hanging in there, not only do you get game 1, it just gives you confidence.
That game 1 is crucial.
And there's our first call from the referee. The ball being above the wrist, or the paddle head being above the wrist.
Yeah.
Correction. And so that ball is, there's no warnings. It is a fault. These referees don't play.
And that's the danger.
Dekel Bar pulling and gets away with one because Augustus was sitting on it with his backhand.
We are seeing a world-class fight between Dekel and Augustus.
And definitely going for it here. Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar. A timeout has been called here in game 2 as it's the PPA Hyundai Masters powered by Invited. We're here, game 2, Dekel Bar to serve. Let's go.
I think Johnson was quite ready for the speed up there by Gus. Great move. Again, Johnny, that ball sailing if you don't put spin. Tyson didn't quite hit that one the way he wanted to. Just dropped it long.
And that one's going to go out. Great partner communication there. You'll see it on our instant replay. Sailing long. Barely
hit him.
Getting out of the way.
Matrix by Craig Johnson there.
And Augustus going for it, trying to close that middle.
Something we've seen him do all match, and he just was a little late on that one. You can see it behind him.
And great stick volley there from Dekel Bar. Craig Johnson unable to come up with it, landing right at the bottom of his left foot. Tough spot.
Side out here. Chance to extend this lead.
There's Dekel being big. Right in the middle once again.
Where have we seen that pattern before, Johnny? That's right, the whole game essentially. Nice poke there by Dekel. Good poke.
And Tyson trying to get just something extra on his serve there. Kind of rolls over it a little too much.
Little weird timing too off the toss there. Looks like he didn't quite have the timing he wanted.
And there it is, a let's go from Dekel Bar as he does a nice little finesse around the post. A couple shots later, there he is to put it home with a nice earn to go, a game point for Dekel Bar and Tyson McGuffin.
Right on cue, Johnny, what happens? They get Tyson a little more involved. Dekel doesn't get to come over quite as much. Point. Well,
And
defense.
lefty forehand, finding the middle again from Augustus.
Huge side out.
And Tyson doing the lean back there as Dekel Bar takes over.
If I'm Johnson and Guh, I would leave the drive alone right now, just kind of working there.
There's the flick. Augustus all over it as they inch their way closer, getting another point. And going to be at 6-10-2. That ball almost landing in. Craig Johnson just kind of defending himself, but almost throwing up a perfect lob over Dekel Bar.
And Dekel doing his best Todd Fote impression there with the backhand flick out of the air. Beautiful.
Another game point here for McGuffin and Bar. And that's going to give this new partnership some confidence. Dekel Bar, Tyson McGuffin taking game 2. Grandstand, the PPA Hyundai Masters, and these players did not get started fast enough, so they came on out, and here we go. Game 3, Tyson McGuffin, Dekel Bar, Craig Johnson, Augustus Guh.
Let's go!
And a let's go from Dekel Bar. As this duo starting to feel it. And as we said before, new partnership. As they strike first here in game 3. And there's Dekel trying to do the attack. That ball just sitting up high enough for Craig Johnson to hit down on it. And so we'll have 1-0-2. All right. So a side out. No, not too much damage done. And back to our patterns. Augustus Guh kind of getting a little trigger happy there.
Yep.
And Dekel Bar already there, ready for the put away.
Gotta contain Dekel in this game. Gotta contain him.
And nice little slide there from Craig Johnson. Actually just kind of overcooked it just slightly, and that ball's going to go out.
So hard
for the side out.
To keep your paddle in front there, John, if you let it get behind him.
And Dekel Bar trying to be extra long as he reaches in for that one after a nice exchange, trying to change the pattern.
All 4 players doing it at one point there. It's good pickleball.
And an amazing backhand flick from Dekel Bar, getting the overhead, then closing, then redirecting that backhand.
I've never seen somebody pronate their wrist like that and snap it over. I mean, it's so strong. J.W. Johnson, another very strong wrist with that backhand. Great shot.
It's like an owl rotating its head almost.
Yes. So quick, too.
And Tyson McGuffin having some words with Dekel Bar. Maybe they have figured something out here together. Remember, this is a new partnership. New paddles for both McGuffin and Dekel Bar. And there's a couple counters.
Really good hand. I like the pull up there, the trick pull there from Guh, but it's a great counter. Nice timeout here, too.
That's right, Augustus Guh. These courts are not normally green. They transform this whole place.
No. Every single stakeholder. It's incredible.
All right, here we go. And that ball just slightly deep. Very close.
That hurts. That hurts.
And Dekel Bar just lifting and carrying. Well, I can't do the one motion anymore.
That was a semi-trick shot / just get over there ball, but no, that's impressive. He kept on the paddle that long, John.
Down in slow-mo on our instant replay there.
He could do that again if he tried.
There's the pull. Augustus, God, really, he knew it was coming. He was sitting on it. The timing of that, though, is still going to be extremely difficult, not knowing where Dekel Bar is going to go to. Location of that speed up, and just kind of a little late as he went right at the gut. And so another opportunity to get on the board here in game 3. Craig Johnson to serve. And that one's going to go out. But one of the big adjustments that we've seen so far, now that Tyson knows, when Dekel speeds up cross court, kind of that middle area, Tyson is now sliding and covering. Before he wasn't, and then that ball was getting poked right between them.
And what you're seeing too, John, is even though it's doubles, there are these individual battles going on. The main lead Bar and Johnson going cross, and that one right there where Augie has to go down the line counter against Dekel.
That's right. Dekel Bar really starting to get on top of Augustus Guh and create even more pressure on him. And
Beast is awake. He's angry.
And going for the 1-2 there to keep the momentum going is Dekel Bar trying to raise that to 6, but they'll have another opportunity here with him serving at 5-0-2.
Important reminder too to those listening, we switch at 6
Which
third game.
That's right, as we resume play with Dekel Bar serving 6-0.
He asked you a question.
Johnson and Guh need to keep working in the right direction because we have a little misunderstanding.
And a little communication error between the players and the referee, so we're going to replay that. 6-0-2. And being big there is Tyson McGuffin getting in there, getting the reach and setting up Dekel Bar. Look at this flick, and 1-2. There's Dekel with a nice punch forward.
Absolute karate chop right in front, the big man.
And Dekel Bar almost going down.
Somebody call Callan Dawson because there might be a new lob doctor out here. Augie Guh with another one over the big guy. That's 2.
And Dekel Bar, I mean,
taken by surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Augustus Guh not getting that one over, but Dekel just wasn't ready.
I do have to say, Johnny, impressive how few unforced errors there's been for all 4 players. Most points are ending because of a great setup or a winner. Very few just kind of freebies.
Absolutely, and Tyson McGuffin starting to play to the crowd a little bit. You know that's when he's getting comfortable. And a good sign for Team Bar and McGuffin when that's starting to happen. And somehow it lands in. A couple smiles and a mini chest bump there.
Yeah, you could hear Johnson scream leave to go, but he, I don't blame him for wanting the winner. I've been there.
Solid hang time though.
Yeah, the vertical is impressive. Funny. Yeah, the first game, Johnson and get more of the net cord, Johnny, and that's, as we can see, it's basically 50-50. It's switched the other way.
And Tyson closing and finishing. The one thing else that you can see as we get through this, and we're at 9-1 now, and it's hard not to let this happen, but you can see Augustus Gus. All of our timeouts that have been taken have been about 20 seconds long. They are there to kill momentum, not really to take a break.
Right.
Dekel Bar getting to let that ball staying in. Luckily for him, he'll get a redo.
Good lead there.
And an ambitious flick there from Dekel Bar, going for it.
That's a 9-1 flick if I've ever seen one, Johnny. Can't blame him. Great spot by Johnson, finally going down the line on McGuffin. That's not been hit yet, so great job. Love that play, John. That's all I was going to say. Love that play.
Yeah, for sure. They're still trying to do their shake and bake, and they're staying true to their things here. It just, a lot of that is the ball is sitting up just that little bit or not getting over at this time. So
worth the try, though. There's a net core right on cue. All right.
They were due.
Yep. They only need 9 more of those.
And this, at this point in time, at 2-9, you want to make sure if you're Tyson McGuffin and Dekel Bar, as they're veterans of the game, not to let up.
You lock in 100%, as they just did on that point. So they'll get a crack here, Johnny, at extending and maybe even ending this thing. Rare miss on the third there. We haven't seen one, especially from Dekel's side. So Tyson's third.
That flick from Dekel Bar going to find a backhand of Augustus Gus, who just can't get that counter going to go. And so here we go.
This is it.
Match point. And it just progressively got better and better as the match went on. And there it is, Dekel Bar and Tyson McGuffin finding their rhythm.
Nothing but respect.